Hello students, I'm making this video because I had a lot of questions in Google Classroom about how to find how to do all the calculations for the project. Okay, our project is to construct cylinder and cone, but before we construct we need to do some essential calculations. I have chosen the base radius. This is what you have to do. You have to choose the same base radius for both cone and cylinder, and the height for both. Okay, so the height I have chosen is 4, and the base radius is 3 inches. So I'm going to use this one to find. First thing for the cylinder is to find the circumference of the base, which is this length. Okay, so the height for the cylinder is 4 inches and the radius of the base is 3 inches. To find the circumference of the base, we will be using the formula C equals to 2 pi r. In this case, my base radius is 3, so r will be replaced by 3, 2 times pi times 3, and now you can use your calculator to find the answer, and the answer will be 18.8 inches. So my circumference of the base of the cylinder is 18.8 inches. Okay, step number 2 is to find the slant height of the cone and the central angle. So all the calculations for the cone will be done in 2 stages or 2 steps. Step 1 is to find the slant height, and step 2 is to find the central angle. Since we have the same height, which is 4 inches, and the radius of the base of the cone is 3 inches. So slant height, if you can see this is the vertical height, this is the base radius, and this is called the slant height. So if you can see this, it forms a right angle triangle. We have 4 inches, this one is 3 inches, and the hypotenuse side is A. Okay, and the formula for the we will be using Pythagorean theorem to find the value of A, and the formula and the theorem is A square equals to B square plus C square. We have done it a couple of times in the class as well. So A squared is the value of A that we need to find. B here is 4 squared. Let's substitute them. 3 squared. 4 squared is 16 plus 9, and that is going to be equal to 25, and the whole thing is equal to A squared. And you know that if there is a squared, to the inverse operation for the squared is the square root. So we need to take the square root of the both sides, and A is going to be 5 if you take square root of 25. So now this 5 is right here, the slant height. The slant height is 5 inches. Okay. Now step number 2 is to find the central angle. So central angle, to find the central angle, to use the formula for the central angle, we need to find two values. Okay, one of them is going to be circumference of the base of the cone, which is exactly the same as the base of the base of the cylinder. So this value and these two are going to be equal to each other. Okay, since we have already found this, the base of the circumference of the base for the cylinder is 18.8. so we don't need to do any calculations here, we already found it. So this is going to be 18.8 inches. Okay, next we will find the circumference of the circle with the radius equal to the slant height. And you know what was our slant height? Our slant height is 5 inches. So our radius is going to be 5 in this case, and we use the same formula. C equals to 2 pi r, substitution 2 times pi times 5 in this case, and if you use your calculator, this will be equal to 31.4 inches. So the circumference of the circle with the radius equal to the slant height is 31.4 inches. Okay. Next, we are going to be using these two values. The value of the circumference of the base of the cone and the circumference of the circle with the radius equal to the slant height. Okay. The formula for the central angle is the answer 1, which was 18.8, divided by the answer number 2, which was 31.4 inches, times by 360. So when you multiply this and use your calculator to find this value, that is going to be 215.5. So what you need to do is to show all these steps on a sheet of paper and upload it in Google Classroom. Thank you.